Hi, I'm Chad Davis, Promotions Director for the Salem Media of Georgia radio stations. That includes 104.7 The Fish, Talk 920, WNIV, and Biz 1190. So there's a lot of activity going on in the promotions department, and pretty much what sets our stations apart from others, especially in the Atlanta area, is our listeners and how loyal they are to us. I mean, 9 times out of 10, actually 10 times out of 10, when we ask the listeners to step forward and help us out, they're doing it. Whether it's helping us raise money for a fundraiser, or coming up real soon, we've got a service project where we're going to be building some houses, and very quickly those events get filled up because our listeners actually, they want to give, they want to be a part, and we've actually seen from our listeners that when we talk about something, when we share something with them, they respond, and we have good success rate with that. And we've got a lot of events that we do. We try to find events that put us in front of communities all the time, in front of our listeners, and find those parades that are already existing and get in front of them, which makes it a little bit easier versus trying to build our own event from the ground up. A lot of times we're finding existing events where the people are already at, and we're going to them and kind of meeting them where they live and finding those things that mean something special to them. So we go out in the community and find those events and really try to connect to our listeners and just meet them, find out that moment that's going to give them something that says, you know what, I can stop for a few minutes and take time out of my busy life to hang out with the radio station. So we're always looking for those types of events. And you know, then we set up things like Celebrate Freedom, where we tell our listeners, you know what, you guys mean so much to us that we're going to give you a free concert featuring about 15 artists throughout the year. We do it on Labor Day weekend here in Atlanta. Last year we had 50,000 people show up for the day, so we're pretty happy about that. So it's a good testament of what we're doing, you know, at the radio station. We always try to see ourselves as the underdog, even if we know that we're not, and we're going into a situation to where we show up and we pretend like, you know what, it doesn't matter what anyone else says, we're here for the first time, and we're going to go out and shake hands and meet these listeners for the first time and find out about them. So that's the biggest thing we do in the promotions department, is just find ways to reach out to our listeners and meet them where they live. And what that relates to and what that translates to is we see a high amount of success whenever we tell somebody about something, any product. They know they can trust us and count on us because they've come out and met us. And I can't tell you the number of stories I've gotten, or the number of times I've gotten an email or listeners come up to me at an event and said, hey, I heard you talking about that roofer the other day. Can you tell me more about them? Or, you know what, hey, that carpet cleaner you guys have been talking about, or the car dealer you've been talking about. So no matter what the business is, it seems like we can get our listeners to respond in a way that no other station in Atlanta can.
104.7 The Fish Family Name Game with Team Toyota Mall of Georgia is coming up with Dan Radcliffe after 3 o'clock. The name we'll be looking for is Whitney. Here's December Radio.
Hi, I'm Mike Blakemore, Program Director of 104.7 The Fish here in Atlanta. I think one of the things that has made The Fish so successful is that I'm just the conduit between the listener and what they get on the radio. It's not what I want to hear on the air or the DJs want to play on the air. It's what they want. And we've developed a unique partnership with our listeners called the Fish Advisory Board. We've got over 1,000 of them, huge fish fans, and they on a bi-weekly basis tell me what they like, what they don't like, what they want to hear more, what they want to hear less on the air, and we put it on the air. And even past surveys have told us that they think the fish sounds so much better now than it ever did before we started that advisory board. I think one of the things that makes The Fish so special in Atlanta is that how we're such a family-oriented station. In fact, our slogan is safe for the whole family. When you think about The Fish, think about mom and dad in the car with the 2 kids in the back seat. There are a lot of radio stations they cannot listen to, or they'd have to turn it down. The Fish is a station where you can keep everyone in the family in the car, and they're very happy, and especially mom and dad are happy. You know, Atlanta is the Bible Belt. There's so many mega churches here, it's unbelievable, and I think that's another thing that makes The Fish so important. We play incredible music that has a message. It never replaces church, but what it does is people throughout the week, they need that encouragement. They need that positive energy. Well, they get that out of our music, and especially out of our DJs that really connect with them. And I think that's what's made The Fish so attractive and so accepted here in Atlanta. You know, one of the things I'm most proud about The Fish is our consistency. We've had Kevin and Taylor on the air. Morning show, it's been here 10 years. Parks has been here just as long. Same with Dan in the afternoon, and same with our evening show with Mike Stout. Even our sales staff has been here for a long, long time. Most of them have. And it's just a real great family. And the thing is, people don't like change. When they find something they like, they want to keep it that way. And The Fish has been something that everyone, the listeners in Atlanta, can count on. The same personalities and the same great music.
I'm Dan Ratcliffe, and I do the afternoon show from 3 to 7. I'm also a production director. I've been here since right after The Fish went on the air in 2000. And it's just been a fun ride. It's amazing, first of all, that you can have an air staff in radio that's been together, the same air staff, for the entire time that the radio station's been on the air. And I think the listeners really kind of connect with that. We've been here so long that we're kind of part of their family. Kevin and Taylor in the morning, Parks during the midday, myself in the afternoons. They've grown up with my kids. They were here when my oldest daughter, who's now a freshman, went to kindergarten, and I talked about that on the air. And they were here when my son, who's now 6, was born. And so it's just been a fun time of being able to grow up, and the same with Kevin and Taylor as well. And I think that's one reason why The Fish works so well with our audiences. We're part of their family, really. Obviously, we like to get out and meet our listeners, and we do that a lot with live broadcasts. And myself and Heidi Rue go out to Carriage Kia once a month or so, and just hang out with listeners. And it's really helped Carriage Kia. They've told us when we're out there, the customers they find are really more comfortable with the buying process, knowing that we're there, just having that presence of somebody that they know, again, part of their family that's there and trust them, so they feel like they can trust Carriage Kia. And on top of that, just getting out, and I just love meeting the listeners, especially when they bring their kids out, playing with their kids, giving them a high five, having a good time, and again, it just really helps us to connect as part of their family.
Safe.